What's up, everybody? This is Dave here with Comics Games Life, and today's video is on Absolute Batman issue number 6. Now, this is the conclusion of the Zoo storyline, the debut story arc of Absolute Batman. And this issue picks up where issue number 5 left off, with a broken, bloodied, battered, and burned Batman narrowly escaping black masked party animals as well as the Gotham City PD. And we have Alfred, who's pretty much turned his back on Batman due to Bruce's superhero level of arrogance and stubbornness. And finally, we have Mayor Jim Gordon and Deputy Mayor Martha Wayne. They are out on the streets and they're seeing deliveries of crates scattered throughout the city. And inside these crates are party animal masks as well as firearms. And this is happening while Black Mask is broadcasting this message all throughout Gotham City, telling all those who can hear to create chaos and mayhem. So he's pretty much incentivizing everyone to commit crimes, because inside these masks are directions telling people to commit murder, robbery, and attached to each one of these crimes is a price tag. So if they commit that crime, that's how much money they're going to earn. And it's no small dollar amount. For example, when Martha Wayne discovers this as she puts on one of the masks, she realized that there's a bounty on Jim Gordon's head for $1 million. And Jim is right next to her, trying to prevent anyone from opening the crates that they're currently overseeing. Now, it doesn't really matter much because we can see throughout the street that they're on, there are crates everywhere and people are going crazy. So much so that one of the Gothamites walks up to them with a firearm, telling them that the rest of the crates on the streets are all out of masks. So he needs a mask from out of one of the crates that they're guarding. And if they don't move out of the way, he's going to shoot him down dead. But he doesn't recognize a target that's on his own back, because behind him, 3 other Gotham citizens creep up who have masks. And they can see the $1 million price tag on Jim Gordon and Martha Wayne. And not to be left out in the cold, this guy who first walked up to him actually has a $10,000 price tag on his head. And Martha and Jim are standing firm. They're not going anywhere. They're trying to reach to these people, trying to make them understand that just because the craziness is going on and the money that's being offered to them, that they shouldn't lose their heart. That especially during these times, they need to maintain their sensibilities and their togetherness. But while none of this is really getting through to the citizens, off in another part of Gotham City, we have Alfred's daughter, Julia, who's currently on the subway, where she gets an emergency alert on her cell phone telling everyone in Gotham City to stay indoors. And at the same time, the subway train that she's currently on is being overrun by party animals. But before anyone robs or kills her, a hero emerges from the shadows and takes down one of the party animals. And that hero happens to be her father, Alfred, because during his time in Gotham, he was on a personal side mission, keeping an eye on his daughter, seeing what she's up to, because they have a relationship that is completely in ruins. And the only way he can see her is to, well, spy on her. And fortunately for her, he was doing that at this moment. So he rushes her to safety and gets her on a private plane out of the city. Now, before they take off, she's telling him that you can't just do this. You can't just take me out of the city where I'm from, leaving behind all the people that I love. And that if you do this, this will permanently destroy our relationship. So Alfred is weighing the option, potentially save my daughter from harm or death, but at the same time, lose any hope of having a relationship with her. So he begrudgingly tells the pilot to take off. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the story. Let's see what's going on with Batman, because where we last left him, he was not in good shape. So after being denied help from Alfred, Bruce makes his way over to Croc's gym to seek help from his friend Wayland. At first, Wayland thinks somebody is breaking into his gym, but once he sees that it's Bruce, he runs over to help. And he can see that he's all beaten up and he's bloody, and he asks him what's going on. And then he touches him and he realizes that Bruce isn't wearing regular clothes. And he's asking, why? And then Bruce just turns to him and says, because I'm Batman and I need your help. So this is what I hope for this Absolute series. I'm hoping that his friends, this group that he has, consisting of the Penguin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and Killer Croc, and at some point Catwoman, I'm hoping they become like the new Bat family in this universe. I feel like it's too obvious for any of them to turn bad or to become his enemy, because that's kind of like what I'm expecting. But I'm hoping that they stay on his side, because I'd love to see their skill set used on behalf of Batman to help him out. Like I can see Killer Croc like training him, even going out in the field with him and maybe in a different disguise. I can see the Penguin using his criminal connections to find out secrets throughout Gotham City's underground. Eddie using his AI Riddler robot to break down information and essentially be the Bat computer. And even Harvey, he can probably use his occupation as a lawyer to navigate through the legal system or find criminals that have escaped justice or something like that. So I'm really hoping that they stay on the side of Batman. So after seeing this, it's obvious that Wayland helps him, because next we see him in a small airplane piloted by Ozzy, aka the Penguin. And he is furious upon finding out that he is Batman. And then he emphasizes, saying that Waylon wants to punch you, Harvey wants to arrest you, Selena will probably think it's hot, and Eddie actually figured it out about a week ago. But before Ozzy finishes telling Bruce what he wants to do to him, they arrive at the designated landing zone, which is a yacht in the middle of the ocean. And so Batman proceeds to dive bomb onto this thing, because the whole purpose as to why he's trying to search out this yacht is because he's looking for some mainframes that connect to the party animals' masks. And he's deducted that they're here on this yacht. And he crash lands directly into Dr. Benjamin, smashing him into the floor. And while he proceeds to beg for his life, Batman chokes him with a life preserver and then kicks him off the yacht. And next up is that little purple kid swinging a knife, and Batman, all he does is grab him by those tentacle things, slaps a life preserver on him, and proceeds to soccer kick him off the boat. And Black Mask's girlfriend or wife or whoever she is witnessing all this, and she doesn't want nothing to do with it. So she takes it upon herself to jump off the side of the boat. But Batman, of course, not wanting anybody to die, he throws her a life preserver as well. Next comes the main event, and this is where Black Mask shows up, and he comes diving off the second tier of the yacht, only to be met with a sidekick by Batman. And while he's stunned, Batman wastes no time and bum rushes him and breaks through the wall into whatever compartment that he's leaning up against. And Batman proceeds to mercifully beat Black Mask down. But although in his pajamas, Black Mask is not unarmed, because he pulls out some piano wire and wraps it around the Dark Knight's neck. And while he's being choked, Batman activates another part of his suit. So the daggers that are used for the ears of the Batsuit start to click downwards, almost to where they're pointed the same direction his eyes are looking. And once they're in this fixed position, Batman headbutts Black Mask, which causes the tips of his bat ears to pierce through whatever hood he's wearing and to be driven what I assume to be through the eyes of Black Mask. And he's screaming in pain. So now Batman's giving the defeated Black Mask the same life preserver treatment that he's given the last 3 people he threw off the boat. And then he goes searching for those mainframes. And once he finds them, he lobs some grenades that he has, and the entire yacht explodes. Now what this causes is a chain reaction. Now if you remember the situation that Martha Wayne and Jim Gordon were in back on the streets of Gotham, you had several party animals pointing their weapons at them, saying that if they were to kill them, they would get a bounty of $1 million each. Now after this explosion, all that data and information just blinks out. The masks are useless now. There's no connection to the servers, which means nobody's going to be getting any money for any of the crimes that they committed. Now, while the people are confused and concerned about what just happened, Martha Wayne punches out one of the guys who was pointing a weapon at them. So it seems that the chaos that's going on in the streets of Gotham is beginning to de-escalate. So let's go back to Batman and see how he's doing after the yacht exploded. Now, I don't know if this is a suicide mission, because Batman did not have a plan B. He didn't even try to get off the boat before it exploded. And now we see him slowly sinking to the bottom of the ocean. But there's something there, something familiar that's waiting for him. And that's that giant-sized Batmobile that we saw back in issue number 2. And the person behind the wheel is none other than Alfred. And he dusts off his old army field medic skills and proceeds to patch up Batman properly. And then he starts to tell Batman, "Kid, if you're sticking around, then so am I." So I'm assuming that the plane that him and his daughter were on never left, meaning that their father-daughter relationship has some hope of being salvaged, which is something that I'm hoping to see evolve later down the line. Now, this may be the end of the first Absolute Batman story arc, and we've been given a lot of information, but there's still a whole lot more to expose and expound upon, and especially what we see in the final page of the issue. And what we're seeing are 2 people, one who seems to be like a servant or an assistant, and the other which seems to be like the big boss, who is deformed, malnourished. He's almost like a zombie, and he has all these, I don't know, body parts or something like that on top of him. And as the servant's delivering the message of the failure of Black Mask in Gotham City, we see his body being restored. Like we see his hand that's all shriveled, but in the final panel, it's got some life to it. Now, I'm thinking this may be the Joker. It does look a little similar to the person that we saw in the very first issue, who we know is the Joker. Now, as far as what's going on with this medical process, I have no clue, but I am excited to find out. And if you guys have any ideas or theories, go ahead and post those down in the comments below. And oh yeah, it's official. We're getting Absolute Bane. Now, I've really enjoyed this series, and I know I'm not the only one. This is probably one of the hottest comics that came out in 2024, and that may be for 2025 as well. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. I've got more on the way, but I got plenty of videos here you can binge through as well. And always remember to support your local comic and game shops. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.